What's going on, everyone? So in this video, I'm going to be going over what I eat every single morning before I begin my fast. Please excuse the bedhead, it's 3 a.m. Okay, so every single morning of Ramadan, before I fast, I like to focus on having a meal that's high in calories, high in protein, and just overall slow digesting and or calorically dense. So basically I'm going to be making a giant granola cereal bowl. Usually I'll do something along the lines of a cereal bowl or a a cereal bowl or a yogurt bowl, both heavy in granola and a lot of fillers that you guys are going to see. So I'm going to start off with one serving of this low-fat granola cereal. It is about 240 calories per serving, which is about 61 grams. So go ahead and put that in. Next, I'll do one serving of this honey bunch of oats, apple caramel crunch cereal. That is about 30 grams. After that, I'll do a serving of this Cascadian Farm organic oats and honey granola. Each serving is about 62 grams, 270 calories. Ooh. So far we have a serving of the low-fat granola cereal. It's about 240 calories and 61 grams. Then we have one serving of the apple caramel crunch honey bunches of oats. That is 120 calories and 30 grams. And then we have a serving of the Cascadian Farm organic granola, which is 270 calories and 62 grams. So I'm going to start with all this. So right now we're sitting at about 630 calories before adding the milk. So I'm just going to tare that. I use whole milk because it has more calories and more fat. My diet year-round usually consists of lower fats than carbs, so I actually struggle to get a lot of my fats in throughout the day. So for me, I like to eat foods that are high in fat whenever I can, because I know by the end of the day, I'm going to come up low on fats. Now we're just going to do 8 to 10 fluid ounces of milk. That's 8, doesn't even fill the bowl properly. So we're gonna do 10. Sometimes I'll add yogurt to this mix. I'll even add like dry oats to this as well, and kind of just dazzle it with like sugar-free syrup or something if I think it tastes very bland. But yeah, so this is the first thing I eat. So all in all, this bowl has around the milk and all the contents, it has around 760, 800 calories, or in that region. So that's just meal one. And cereal for me, It's super easy to eat. So I just like to scarf this down, go on my phone a little bit, relax, and then get to meal number 2, which is going to be like my final meal, which I'm going to go over. After having the granola bowl, we're sitting at around 780 calories, 21 protein, 131 carb, and 19 fat. So as soon as I'm done with that, I wait a little bit, and then my second meal and my last meal for Sehri is kind of like a mass gainer, if you may call it. Like, I basically mix a bunch of ingredients in a blender, and I make a thick, heavy calorie shake, somewhere along the lines of like 800 to 1,000 calories. However, today I'm out of kale, out of frozen blueberries, and frozen fruit, and I'm also out of quick oats. So I'm resorting to what I really don't like eating, well, drinking, but I'm resorting to store-bought mass gainer. In this case, I'm using Optimum Nutrition Serious Mass. It has about 625 calories per scoop, 25 protein, 126 carb, and 2 fat. So it's a hefty chunk right there. And alongside that, I mix that with 1 scoop of Ascent, 1 scoop of casein protein by Ascent. I believe that you can get your casein sources from Whole Foods. I mean, you can get anything really from like whole natural foods, but when it comes to Ramadan and we're just trying to like scarf calories down so we don't, as well in my case, so I don't shrivel up and shrink and start shedding weight, I just like to basically combine stuff like casein protein, kind of like a mixture of casein protein and whey protein and a bunch of natural ingredients. So the shake that I'm going to be making today, well, that I've already made actually, is consisting of a scoop of the Serious Mass, a scoop of Ascent casein protein, and a scoop of Strong Greens by BPN Nutrition. So these 3 ingredients together with a bunch of water, this is totaling like 778 calories, about 51 protein, 137 carb, and 4 fat. So my grand totals for the day, well, for the morning, are 1,558 calories, 72 protein, 268 carb, and 22 fat. And so with that 1,558, that puts me at about roughly half of my daily consumption, and then I consume the other 1,600 or whatever it is during Iftar, up until Sehri. So yeah, so that's about it. Just these 2 quick meals, as you may call them. Quick meals really hold me over throughout the day. I'm not the type that gets like super hungry when I fast. I actually get a lot more thirsty as opposed to hungry. It's kind of like a pick your poison thing. I know people that get super hungry and like aren't thirsty at all. Hey buddy. And I know people that get super thirsty like myself and are not hungry at all. So all in all, when Iftar comes around, when I'm usually eating for Iftar, I'm making sure that my meals are just about the same, high in protein, calorically dense, because I'm not the type that stays up all night eating. Like, I actually like to get my sleep in. So it's just that quick 2-hour window of Sehri and a 2-hour window of Iftar where I try to scarf down my calories. Now, the best way for your body to absorb all the protein that you're giving it, like, mind you, I'm around 180 pounds, so I need to be getting that much protein. It's very difficult to get that much protein in like two meals, or like 4 hours total. You know, there's a high chance that my body's not absorbing all of it or absorbing any of it like properly, because it needs time to break stuff down. Hence the importance of meal frequency and timing your meals out properly, like having X amount of protein every X amount of time. So like, I'm well aware that like my body might not process a lot of that protein the way it would if I had like spaced it out throughout the night. And I know guys that do stay up all night eating, but I just don't have time. So I'd rather take the loss on protein and like have less for my body to process, as opposed to stay up all night scarving food down and trying to just get my calories in and get my protein in. I do know some guys that, you know, completely turn night into day during Ramadan. So during the day they sleep all day and work like very sparingly, and then at night they're like up all night eating. Not one of those people. There's a lot of different methods that people use during Ramadan. People flip around their schedules, people flip around, like they completely change up their macros, and that might work for a lot of people, but my structure is pretty basic. In my next video, I'm gonna be going over what I do, like exactly, like in terms of vitamins, in terms of not really like eating, because I showed you guys that today, but more just like vitamins, my strategies throughout the day that I use to stay full and not too hungry during Ramadan, and what I usually like to eat for Iftar, homemade, and like what I like to eat out for Iftar. So anywho, stay tuned for that video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and Ramadan Mubarak.